Hey everyone, welcome back. Getting ready for this deep dive, I have to say this is some pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
We're looking at how cryptocurrency, blockchain, and AI are all kind of coming together.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I've been looking at research papers and market trends, even some opinion pieces on it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I got to say my head's already spinning.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not surprising. You've got these huge trends happening at the same time. You've got crypto exploding, Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana, all of these are making huge waves.
Right.
And then you have AI, which is changing everything, and then you put them together and that's when things get really interesting, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And it feels like all of a sudden everyone is trying to figure out how to use AI to make better crypto trades,
Yeah.
or how blockchain can make AI more transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading about how OpenAI is working on integrating with blockchain technology.
No, yeah.
They want to actually use blockchain for sharing and monetizing data.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really interesting project. And for me, I think the most exciting part is not even just the technology itself, but how it could change things. You know, imagine every transaction you make gets recorded on the blockchain,
Right.
and an AI model can learn from that.
Uh-huh.
Then it rewards users with tokens based on what it learns.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
That really changes who owns data,
Yeah.
right? We're not just talking about companies collecting data anymore.
It's a totally different approach. It shifts power to individuals.
Yeah.
It changes how we think about data, how we value it, who profits from it.
It's almost like we're moving away from these central data silos.
Yeah, exactly. Towards something more decentralized.
Yeah. That reminds me of T-own coin. I keep hearing about T-own coin, but I'm not really sure what makes it so special.
Well, TO Coin actually stands for the Open Network, and it did start as a Telegram project, that's right. They wanted to build a blockchain platform that anyone could use,
Hmm.
something that's easy to use for decentralized applications. They wanted to make blockchain as easy to use as like a messaging app.
So instead of needing to be a coder or a programmer, you could send crypto as easily as you send a text.
Exactly.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, that's why there's so much buzz around TON Coin. It's really trying to make blockchain accessible to everyone.
And that's a big deal. I mean, making these things easy to use, that's so important for getting more people involved.
Exactly. Now, whether or not it achieves all of its goals, I mean, that remains to be seen. But the vision itself is important. It shows where things are going.
That's a good point.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of making things accessible, what about these AI trading bots?
Right.
They're everywhere now.
Yeah.
I hear some people say they're the future of investing.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of hype around AI trading bots.
But is it really that simple?
Well, you have to be careful. They're designed to analyze markets incredibly fast. They can spot patterns, trends that we might miss. But we have to remember, we're still in the early stages here,
Right.
and not all bots are created equal.
So you're saying it's not as easy as setting a bot loose and just watching the money come in?
Definitely not. You don't want to just blindly trust any bot that claims to make you rich. You need to understand the technology, the strategy behind it, and the risks. It's not just about the potential profits, it's about making informed decisions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially with the crypto market, right?
Yeah.
So unpredictable. So maybe in some future episodes, we could dive into some specific AI trading platforms,
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
maybe help our listeners figure out, what to look for, what to avoid.
Absolutely. There are so many different platforms out there. We could even talk about the ethical considerations, like algorithmic bias, market manipulation.
Yeah, I think that's really important. We're talking about AI making financial decisions.
Exactly.
It's not just about the technology, but about how it affects people's lives.
Right. We have to think about the ethical implications as well as the technological advancements.
Hmm.
As we move towards a world where algorithms play a bigger and bigger role in financial decisions, we have to think critically about things like privacy, transparency, and accountability.
Yeah, those are big questions, but I think it's important to start thinking about them now.
I agree. Before things get out of hand.
Yeah. Speaking of big questions, have you heard much about decentralized autonomous organizations or DAOs?
Yeah, I have.
Honestly, I'm a little confused about DAOs. I hear the term a lot, but I don't really understand what they are.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know they're supposed to be run by code, but what does that actually mean?
Well, imagine an organization like a company or a community where all the decision making is done by code. There's no CEO, no board of directors, just code.
Wow.
And this code is on the blockchain. It's called smart contracts. They automatically execute decisions based on predefined rules.
So it's like the code is in charge instead of a person.
Right. And the people who support DAOs, they say this can make organizations more transparent, more efficient, more democratic.
Okay.
Everything's on the blockchain, so it's hard to hide corruption or manipulate things.
Hmm. That's really interesting. But I have to admit, I'm a bit nervous about it too.
I get it.
What if there's a bug in the code? What if the
Yeah.
rules themselves are biased?
That's a valid concern. DAOs are very new, and there are definitely challenges. One of the big ones is how do you make sure they're actually decentralized and democratic?
All right.
If the code is written by a small group of people, are they really giving up control?
Yeah.
It's a good question, and it's something that the DAO community is working on. There's a lot of discussion about how to design governance systems that are fair and inclusive.
It sounds like we could do a whole episode just on DAOs,
Definitely.
but I think we've laid a good foundation here.
Yeah.
So in this first part, we've talked about crypto and AI merging,
Hmm.
the potential of TA Uncoin, the rise of AI trading bots, and even a little bit about DAOs. And it seems like with every topic we discussed, there's this tension
Mm-hmm.
between the incredible potential of these technologies and the ethical challenges that come with them.
Yeah, that's a great observation. And it's something we're going to keep coming back to. The important thing is to approach these developments with both optimism and caution. We need to embrace the possibilities, but we also need to be critical and think about the downsides.
I agree. Well, I don't know about you, but my head is already full of new information.
Yeah, me too.
Let's take a moment to digest everything we've learned so far.
Okay,
We'll come back and dive deeper into some of these fascinating topics.
sounds good. When we talk about all this stuff with crypto and AI, it's easy to get lost in the technical details,
Yeah.
the market trends and all the complexity, but I think it's important to remember the human element.
Oh, for sure. In the end, technology is a tool.
Right.
We get to decide how we use it.
Right.
So for someone listening to this, maybe feeling a little overwhelmed by all this, where do you even begin?
Well, I always tell people, start with what you're curious about.
Yeah.
What really interests you about this whole convergence? Is it the tech itself? Or the investment opportunities? The social impact? Whatever sparks your interest, that's where you should start.
I think for a lot of people, it's the investment side.
Oh, definitely.
We've all heard the stories, right? People getting rich off crypto.
Yeah, those stories are definitely tempting. But you got to be careful. You got to approach crypto investing with a level head. This is a volatile market. There are risks.
So you're saying don't bet the farm on Dogecoin just because you saw it trending on Twitter.
Exactly. Don't chase hype. Don't just follow the latest trends. You got to understand the technology behind it. Do your research.
But there are so many cryptocurrencies out there. How do you even begin to narrow it down?
Well, think of it like any other investment. You wouldn't buy stock in a company without doing your homework, right? Look for projects with a solid team, a clear plan, a real-world use case.
So look beyond the hype. Look at the fundamentals.
Exactly. And that's where AI trading platforms could be helpful.
Oh, right, the bots.
Yeah. Some of these platforms use AI to analyze market data, to find good investments. Some even make trades for you automatically.
That sounds pretty powerful. But I'm guessing there are some downsides too, like giving an algorithm control over your money.
Oh, absolutely. Like we said before, not all AI trading platforms are the same. Some are more transparent than others. Some might be better for certain strategies. It's crucial to understand how they work.
Before you trust them with your money.
Exactly. It seems like the same advice applies to everything in this space.
Do your research. Understand the risks. Don't buy into the hype.
Exactly. There's so much noise, so many promises of easy money. But the people who succeed in this space, they're the ones who think for themselves. They make informed decisions.
Okay, let's say I've done my research. I found some cryptocurrencies I like. I'm ready to invest. What are the practical steps?
Well, first you need a digital wallet to store your crypto. There are lots of different types.
So it's kind of like choosing a bank account.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Some wallets are more secure, some are easier to use. It depends on your needs and how comfortable you are with technology.
Okay, and then once you have a wallet, you need to actually buy some crypto.
Right. That's where cryptocurrency exchanges come in. They're platforms where you can buy, sell, trade different cryptocurrencies.
Kind of like the stock market, but for digital assets.
Exactly.
And there are tons of different exchanges. How do you choose one?
It's similar to wallets. Different exchanges have different features, fees, security. Do some research to find one that's right for you. Look at the cryptocurrencies they offer, the fees, the reputation, how easy they are to use.
This is starting to sound a little complicated. Is there an easier way to get started,
Mm.
especially for someone who's new to all this?
Well, remember TON coin?
Yeah,
One of their goals is to simplify all of this, to
right.
make crypto more accessible.
Right. They want to make it as easy as using a messaging app.
Exactly. Imagine buying crypto right within your messaging app. That would be a game changer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
People who are intimidated by all the technical stuff
Well,
or who don't want to deal with wallets and exchanges.
so TON coin could be like a gateway into the crypto world.
It's possible if they can really deliver on that ease of use, it could really lower the barrier to entry.
That's exciting. Let's step back for a second. We've talked a lot about investing in technology, but what about the bigger picture? What about the impact this is all going to have on society?
That's an important question, and it often gets overshadowed by all the hype and speculation. But blockchain and AI, they have the potential to change everything, not just finance, but entire industries,
Yeah.
even the way we govern ourselves.
Can you give me an example? Like, how could these technologies actually change the world?
Sure. Imagine a world where supply chains are completely transparent because of blockchain.
Right.
You could track products from where they're made all the way to the consumer.
Hmm.
That would help with ethical sourcing, reducing waste, fighting counterfeit goods.
That's huge. I mean, in terms of sustainability, ethical consumption.
Exactly. Or think about healthcare. AI could help diagnose diseases earlier, more accurately. It could personalize treatments. AI could even revolutionize education, make personalized learning available to everyone.
Those are some really amazing possibilities.
Mm.
But we have to be realistic, too. There are potential downsides, right?
Of course, technology isn't always good. We need to be aware of things like data privacy, algorithmic bias, job displacement.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it.
Exactly. We need to use these advancements ethically, make sure they benefit everyone, not just a few.
That brings us back to that tension we were talking about earlier.
Right.
The tension between the amazing potential of these technologies
Mm-hmm.
and the ethical challenges.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah. You know, it reminds me of what we were talking about with DAOs. They're this experiment in decentralized governance. But there are also all these questions about accountability, transparency, unintended consequences.
We're in uncharted territory. We need to be careful.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this part, from the practical steps of investing in crypto to the bigger social and ethical questions. Let's give our listeners a moment to think about all this. It's a lot to take in, but it's important to have these conversations to understand the complexity of what's happening. Okay, so we spent this whole deep dive exploring this world where crypto and blockchain and AI are all coming together. And it's clear they have the potential to change, well, everything really, from finance to
Yeah.
healthcare, even how we govern ourselves.
Yeah.
But that potential comes with a lot of responsibility too.
It really does. It's like we're at the very beginning of something huge, like standing at the edge of, I don't know, a new frontier or something.
Yeah.
So much potential, so much excitement, but also a lot of unknowns. And as we move forward into this unknown territory, we have to remember that we're not just, along for the ride. We're the ones who get to decide where this all goes.
That's a really good way to put it. We're not just watching this happen.
Right.
We're actually shaping what this future is going to look like.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to really think about this stuff, to ask the hard questions, to challenge our assumptions, and to think about the consequences. We need to be aware of the good and the bad that can come from these technologies, and we need to work together to make sure they're used ethically, that they're used to benefit everyone.
Yeah, for the greater good.
Exactly.
So before we wrap things up, let's just take a minute to go back over some of the key takeaways here.
Okay.
We started by talking about this convergence of crypto and AI, which are, they're two of the most powerful technologies out there today. And we talk about how they're kind of smashing together and creating all these new possibilities. AI trading dots, data marketplaces on the blockchain.
Yeah.
We talked about TON coin
Yeah.
and how they're trying to make crypto super easy to use.
Yeah.
Like as easy as sending a text message. And if they pull it off, that could be huge for getting more people into crypto.
Definitely.
And then there's DAOs, these experiments in decentralized governance, challenging how we think about organizations, how decisions are made, but also raising these tough questions about who's accountable,
Yeah.
and what could go wrong.
It's really pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, it is. And throughout our conversation, we've emphasized how important it is to be both optimistic and cautious. We need to be excited about the potential, but also aware of the risks. and do what we can to minimize those risks.
Absolutely.
And it's clear this is just the start. This whole thing with crypto, blockchain, AI, it's still early days. Things are changing all the time. But by having these conversations now, by really thinking critically about what all of this means, by demanding that these technologies are used ethically, we can help to make sure that this revolution benefits everyone.
I agree. It's not about just letting technology happen to us. We get to shape it. We get to decide what the future looks like. And by staying informed, staying involved, and asking the hard questions, we can make sure this all leads to a better world, a more just world, more equitable world
For everyone.
for everyone.
Well said. Well, this has been an incredible journey, and I want to thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure. And to everyone listening, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring. The future is out there, and you have a role to play in creating it.
That's right. So until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.